Stop proving yourself, because the more you try to convince people of your value, the more you train them to question it.
At first, it feels innocent. You explain why you made that choice. You explain why you said no. You explain why you need space. You explain why you are hurt. You explain why you deserve better. And sometimes, explanation is healthy. But when you start explaining yourself to people who are not trying to understand you, you are no longer communicating. You are standing in front of someone who already made up their mind, hoping that one more sentence, one more reason, one more words. But quiet confidence does not move like that. Quiet confidence does not chase approval. It does not panic when someone misreads the situation. It simply stays grounded. And that, because people can feel when you are trying too hard. They can feel when your words are coming from fear. They can feel when your energy is asking, "Do you see me now? Do you believe me now? Do you respect me now?"
And whether they admit it or not, that energy gives them power over you. The moment someone realizes you need their validation, a delayed reply can make you anxious. A cold tone can make you overthink. A small criticism can make you explain yourself for 10 minutes. A little distance can make you chase. That is not confidence. That is emotional dependency wearing the mask of communication. And the painful part is, many people who constantly prove themselves are not weak people. They are often sensitive people. People who care deeply about being fair, honest, and understood. But somewhere along the way, they learned that being misunderstood was dangerous. But maybe you grew up in a place where you always had to explain your emotions. Maybe you had to defend your intentions. Maybe love felt conditional. Maybe peace only came after you convinced someone you were not the problem. So now, as an adult, you keep doing it. You explain too much. You apologize too quickly. You defend yourself before anyone even attacks. You try to sound calm while your nervous system is begging for acceptance.
And you call it being mature. But real maturity is not explaining yourself to everyone.
Real maturity is knowing when your words are being used against you. Because some people do not ask questions to understand. They ask questions to keep you on trial. They make you defend your tone, then your timing, then your boundaries, then your feelings. And before you realize it, you are no longer standing in your truth. You are trapped in a courtroom you never agreed but in this. Quiet confidence walks out of that courtroom, not with anger, not with drama, just with calm distance. Because when you know who you are, you do not need every person to agree with your version of events. You do not need to win every conversation. You do not need to correct every false opinion. You do not need to explain your boundaries until they sound acceptable. A boundary does not need to be approved. A quiet person is not always unsure. Sometimes they are simply done performing. And this is where your power begins to return. When you stop treating every misunderstanding like an emergency, let them think what they want. Let them assume what they want. Let them underestimate you. Because the people who truly respect you will not need you to bleed emotionally just to believe your intentions. They will listen. They will observe your pattern. They will judge you by your consistency. And the people who are committed to misunderstanding you, they are not your audience. They are your test. They are testing whether you still abandon yourself for approval. They are testing whether one cold look can make you shrink. Whether one accusation can make you over-explain. Whether one moment of silence can make you chase them. Quiet confidence says, no. I do not need to prove my worth to someone who benefits from doubting it. Because the truth is, respect does not grow from performance. Respect grows from self-possession.
From the way you pause before reacting. From the way you speak without begging.
From the way you leave when your presence is no longer valued. Quiet confidence is not about being cold. It is about being clear. It is not about ignoring people. It is about no longer handing your peace to people who keep mishandling it. And once you understand that, you stop trying to look confident, and you start becoming someone who cannot be easily shaken. The hardest part of quiet confidence is this: you have to let people be wrong about you. And for someone who has spent years trying to be understood, that can feel almost impossible.
You want to explain. You want to fix the story. You want to show them what they missed. You want to prove that your heart was in the right place.
But every time you rush to correct someone's opinion of you, you teach your nervous system that their opinion is more powerful than your peace.
And that is the trap. Because not every opinion deserves your reaction. Not every accusation deserves your defense.
Not every person deserves access to the deeper reasons behind your choices. Sometimes the most powerful response is not a perfect explanation. Sometimes the most powerful response is emotional control. He paused, assessing the situation calmly. A simple acknowledgement was all that was needed. I understand that you see it that way. And then you stop.
You do not keep digging. You do not keep adding details. You do not keep trying to make your truth emotionally comfortable for someone else.
Because when you over-explain, you may think you are creating clarity, but often you are creating more openings for peace sentence, then another, then your tone, then your timing, then your memory, then your intention. And suddenly, you are not having a conversation anymore. You are defending your right to feel what you feel.
Not angry silence. Not passive-aggressive silence. Clean silence.
The kind of silence that says, I am not here to fight for permission to respect myself. And this is where people begin to feel your strength. Not because you are louder, but because you are North Times. They cannot bait you as easily. They cannot shake you with every facial expression. They cannot control you with disappointment. They cannot make you chase by withdrawing attention. Because quiet confidence has accepted something most people fear. Being disliked is survivable. Being misunderstood is survivable. Being left out is survivable. In Papa Tanbents. But abandoning yourself for approval will slowly destroy you. And once you truly understand that, your energy changes. You stop leaning forward in every room, hoping someone base. You stop laughing at things that hurt you. You stop shrinking your boundaries so people stay comfortable. You stop saying yes when your body is already saying no. Implants. You stop trying to be the easiest person to deal with.
Because being easy to deal with is not the same as being respected.
Sometimes people love your kindness only when it comes with no boundaries. They love your patience only when it allows them to avoid accountability. They love your loyalty only when it keeps you available for mistreatment. But the moment you stop proving yourself, the relationship changes. Some people will call you cold. Some will say you changed. Some will act confused, as if your self-respect is a personal attack. Let them. That reaction is information.
It shows you who benefited from the version of you that explained too much, gave too much, and tolerated too much.
Quiet confidence does not need to punish them. It simply stops participating.
And when you stop participating in your own disrespect, you become harder to manipulate.
Not because you are cruel, but because you are awake.
You finally understand that your peace is not something to negotiate every day. Your dignity is not something to explain until someone agrees with it. Your worth is not a debate, and the moment you stop debating it, you begin to carry yourself differently. You speak slower. You react later. You choose fewer words. You stop rushing to fill every silence. You no longer panic when someone is unimpressed. Because deep down, you know something they may not know yet. You were never asking for permission to be enough. You are allowed to be calm. You are allowed to be private. You are allowed to say less. You are allowed to let your life speak over time. Stop proving yourself to people who only respect you when you are exhausted. Stop explaining your boundaries to people who keep crossing them. Stop chasing clarity from people who benefit from confusion. The win is not making everyone see your worth. The win is no longer needing everyone to see it. That is quiet confidence. That is emotional freedom. And that is the moment you become impossible confidence. Because quiet confidence begins the moment you stop auditioning for respect and start carrying yourself like